Hey guys, today's Sunday, October the 29th of 2023, and I want to go over natural gas. So without any further delay, let's get into it. So this video is going to be a little more of a recap of kind of like what has happened in the last couple of days. And this is going to be a little more on the geometry side when I Gann's theory. I always use geometry and other techniques. It's kind of like a little melting pot, but more focus for Gannists, for people that study and research Gann, are into Gann. So this is a little nugget for you guys. And, I might have a little rant and talk about different things here, whatever, but this is especially for the Gannists and just kind of recap and see what is going on with natural gas. So we first start off with our Gann fans. As you can see, we are above this one of the Gann angles, and it's positive. We got way to go, but so far, give natural gas a little credit. We're at least over one fan angle, so that's positive. The most important one is going to be the one from the swing high, and this is your 45. This is going to be a tough nut to break, but when we do, the shift is turning, the tide is turning, because you're dealing from a high now. Once we get there, we'll figure out what natural gas is going to do. Most of the time, when they kiss it for the first time, they fail. Sometimes they break through, test it from top, bounce off of it, and then continue. But this is the most important one, and you have to have that plotted there on a scale chart. The next one we have here is, I use two because I don't know which one is the one that will work or could find future resistance. So this was that first low, got this nice pop. You got that 302 high, then it pulled back, and it's kind of, muddy over here because these are closes. This is not, the futures or anything like that. So I know on the futures, April 14 was the low of 194. It's embedded in my head because I've been studying that chart for the longest. So I know around there, around here is the most important one, but I'm using the cash close. And you can see from this low in February, I believe that's the 20th, if I'm correct. Yeah, somewhere around there. You can see this, this is the 30, the 45, and the 60. You can see every time it hits the 60 angle, it fails. It never got up here. Almost got up here. It looked like we're going to kiss it again. But it always kind of fails. So this is a price memory pattern that natural gas is doing every time it hits this angle. So we'll see how this week is going to go. Maybe we could break right through it and then find support. So I just want to let you know, I leave that there. But the important one is this one. And actually, you can see that this is from March the 29th, around there. The low is really, April 13, 14. I mean, I could plot, one there too, but I think it could probably be overkill. Because however you look at it, the 45 degree is the important one. So when you're on this side, you're a little bit on the weaker side, not as strong. But once you get here, if you've been watching my uranium videos, this is where things start picking up, when sentiment changes stronger, when the public is kind of like aware, I guess, of, oh, look at this stock, or people are talking about it. It's because it's on a stronger side. And this is that side right here, which is the bullish side. So far, you know what, in the next video, I'll probably plot one for the April 14, just for fun, just to see how price action is behaving and dances around these angles. But you can see we're above the 60 right here, so that's good. This is going to be the most important one you want to watch. We're far away from it, so we'll see how that plays out. Now the Gann square in the range, you can see that now we are hitting the 1/4 level, which is this. This is a strong area. So you're at right now kissing, we're about to kiss this week 352. I haven't looked at the futures, so yeah, maybe we did, or maybe we're close at 348. So 352. So this is going to be interesting. A vector point. Remember the vector points I've been telling you about? When price action comes to this little, think of it as an energy field. This is the best way I could explain it. Prices sometimes get erratic. You just don't know where the energy is going to project it to, where it's going to shoot. Most of the time when it comes down to it, I've seen it explode even further down, but most of the time when it's coming down, it's like a reversal and it shot up. And obviously, you know that it was a contract change. So, maybe that had to do with it. Maybe, it would be nice if there was no contract change and you could just see price action by itself. So maybe in the future, we'll just have to make a note and see when there's a, non-contract change and see what price action, what happens. And I believe there was a contract change. Maybe I could be wrong. I got so much information in my head. So if I'm wrong, please forgive me. Either way, either contract change or just natural price action discovery, we hit a vector point right here on 1021 and prices exploded to the upside, whatever happened. But now that we're here, 352 is a key level you want to watch. This is the 1/4 from scoring the range. These are the 1/8 right here. If we could break through there and hold this level of 352, 353 around there, 52, and just kind of consolidate going, sideways here, or just grind higher and, hold this angle, it's very likely that it could go into the winter and maybe at least test 454. Very possible. But I wanted to show you that. That's where we're at right now. And the other squaring of the range is from our current price or our current swing. You can see that we hit the, this is the 1/8. This is the 1/4. There's a way to go, 391. And we found support at the 1/8 and bounced off this angle. And you can see that now this is an angle that we have to keep an eye on, which is somewhere around 365 around there. But it all depends what, when do we reach it? That's how we know what the price will be. So keep that in mind there. Using the ellipse, nothing there. This one is from here. You can see that we're back in the groove. Every time we hit this ellipse, we find support and bounce. So maybe this could be a trading strategy. Every time we dip in and we kiss this line, chances are there could be support. Here it got a little weak. I'm just kind of giving you ideas in trading. This would have been perfect because you could have been seeing, in the past how every time here would have been a little messy, but here it played out really well as support. Advance support and resistance levels. There's one really far out here, 458. That's way up there. From this current swing right here is 378. Keep an eye on that. And the ellipse. So interesting here. I want to show you this. So I've been saying that every time price action reaches these you could call them vectors, just energy points. Prices action just kind of does something very, dramatic. And you can see here that on the 21st, it bounced. And like I said, I can't remember if there's a contract change or not, but whatever happened, something happened here and prices exploded. So in the future, you want to look at 124 of 2024, see what happens there. We grinding higher, grinding higher, and somewhere around January 24th, could be maybe a swing high and then push lower. You want to just keep an eye on that. And lastly, our Andrews pitchfork, another important angle from the current low. You can see we're above it. I believe this is 25, that's a 50, and that's a 75. So this is center of gravity, 583. So this is a level you want to keep an eye on, 391. Okay, now that I got a little bit of the geometry side out of the way, let's look at what the computer was forecasting. So the computer was thinking 1011, possible swing high or turning point. And you can see that we kind of turned over here. Let me see. Yeah. Just that arrow right there. Computer picked that. But that was a nice little trade for scalping or whatever. And then the computer picked somewhere around 1019. And maybe I can't, kind of decipher, but somewhere around 21, 20, whatever. It was a turning point. So yeah, I mean, it came a little early, but then the turning point came and exploded to the upside. Then the computer picked 1023 for a possible swing high or turning point again. So it was like a cluster of just back and forth. And this almost kind of played out, although just the price action just didn't turn as of now. We'll see how Monday comes, but there's a turning point there, and there's another one coming up in the future, somewhere around 1124. So it could be that maybe prices continue going higher, and around 1124 it pulls back. That's more like an inverse of what price action, what is forecasting, going lower and then going up. So never know. Maybe it turns here, goes down, and then from here that's a swing low. So you got to look at it both ways, but I kind of look at it as something happening, a turning point, an explosion higher, another leg higher. I keep my options even more open. And then there's one coming around December the 7th. And then the new year starts. So that's what the computer is shown. And so far, these two have been correct. This one came a little early, and this one hasn't played out yet. This 1023 high. What else? I think I've covered. Oh, well, I'm gonna leave the best for last. Remember I was talking about those planets, in my videos a while back. It was like, hey, this is one of Gann's techniques that, some people find it kind of like, ooh, that's that foo-foo stuff that I'm not really into. Well, let's see how this played out. So looking at Mercury crossing over the sun, somewhere around the 18th, 19, around there. It was very close to this kind of turning point here. Sometimes it happens exactly on the day of the event, and sometimes it takes maybe a day or two. So that's why I've learned using these techniques to kind of give it a little wiggle room of 2 days to the left, 2 days to the right, knowing that it accumulates around the 19th or whenever the event happens. And then you had Mercury crossing over Mars, which is where we're at right now, the 29th, which is today. Mercury is crossing over Mars. So when I did that post, we were somewhere around here. I can't remember the time I posted that video or when I started mentioning it. But, keep an eye on these dates. And look what happened. Prices exploded up here. Now this is unknown because this is today. And mind you, the futures opens tonight. So I went ahead and plotted this. If it actually was the 20th, the culmination happened on the 20th. So this is an efficiency test, statistics of what has happened in the past. Every time Mercury crosses over the sun on natural gas, what kind of price pattern plays out? in the past and what is expected in, using probabilities in the future. So right here on the 20th, this is when that culminates on the Mercury crossing the sun, and it was projecting higher prices. And then you can see that kind of pulls back, kind of goes sideways, and then it grinds higher, or at least maybe a retest. This is using probability statistics. This is, my video, Hidden in Plain Sight. You should check it out. I don't know, maybe you want to call it an anomaly. But however you want to take it, I think this is very tradable if you know this in advance. And you playing with probability, I think this could be in your favor with a little edge. I'm sure other computers know this too. And other people. I'm not the only one aware of this, so there could be a little edge compared to the non-Gannist, people that are not familiar with Gann and don't know anything about Gann, and maybe wanted to go short around the 20th for that week. They probably got chopped up pretty good. So that was the Mercury crossing over the sun efficiency test statistics. The next one is now coming up, which is Mercury crossing over Mars. And that's where we're at right now. And that date culminates today, 9/16. I don't know if I guess that's the morning, but that's the morning on East Coast. Yep. Because that's where the good old market's at. So you can see that right here, it's showing that price action typically are just kind of grinding lower. And then here, when this happens, you get this little bump, and then a couple of days, maybe 2 days. And then on the third day, or on the second day, it gets this nice pop, and then it just kind of grinds higher. So that's what the efficiency test is showing for when Mercury crosses over Mars. Because Mercury is a faster planet in regards to speed, comparing it to Mars. So let's see how this week goes. But so far, it's at 3. Interesting. 348. I had something around 347, so I'm sure the futures are probably higher. Maybe 363. Just caught that right now. So yeah, 27th. Yeah. So let's see how this plays out this week. But so far, I know there's a gap down here. I'm aware of that. There's a lot of, things going on. The winter now is starting to approach. Over here in Nashville, it's starting to get a little cooler. I mean, we're like 80s there. I think they're forecasting next week it starts dropping a little bit. Now we're going to be in the 60s in the daytime. So it's going to get a little cooler. I don't know where, in Europe, I don't know in the world if it's forecasting to get super cold. You guys can fill me in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Are we going to start now grinding higher into November, December? Is there demand? You guys know all that good stats number. What do you think? But I'm telling you, in regards to price action, it's looking better than being around the 250 and the 290s and the 220 and oscillating, between 302 and what is this level? 246, back and forth here. We broke out of here, so that's good. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think for this week. What's happening? There's going to be a massive pullback. We're going to fill in these gaps. I know regards consolidation time, there's a lot of things lining up in December, where it ends within this, consolidation. We could price in time. It ends around December. The daily cycle bottoms out in December, if I'm correct, with all the information I have in my head. Trying to keep my brain, tuned. So I'm trying to get it oiled and trying to recall all the stats and all this number in my head. And I know the weeklies are up, and I know that seasonality in November, could get a nice little bump. So there's a lot of things in there. So, and also forgive me, this video is long, but I haven't done a video on natural gas in a while. I'm working on palladium to see if there's any edges or there's more downside, or just kind of working on some data mining on that instrument. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the comments. What do you think of natural gas this week, this pop, where we at? You going long, you're holding, or you think there's more downside into December and then maybe pop? I'm going to sign out. Hopefully you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on natural gas.